Hello, everyone. I am testing the live function of Facebook Live. So let me know if you guys can actually see me, hear me. Maybe I should put up an alert on the page. Let's see. Hey, Ken, how are you? So this is completely new for me. So I don't know how to do all of this yet. I have been on videos with John and a few others, but this is the first solo one. Hello, Miss Kama. Davina, how are you? So I don't see it's for those of you in the UK, this is middle of the day for you. It's morning for me. So yeah. Can you see me, Ken? No? Yes? Or just hear me? Excellent. That's good. I don't know how to use Facebook Live. This is my first test. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, Chris. This was impromptu. It's not scheduled. The next one I'll start scheduling them. Um, have fun at work. If you have to drive, drive carefully. You know, but it's gonna be recorded, Chris, so you'll be able to see it later. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of interesting reactions to. I think it's chapter 6 because it's long. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to give a shout out to. Hold on. Let me remember. Stephen, who said, "Why don't you just do Facebook Live instead of Be Live?" And then I said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Why don't I just do Facebook Live? And so I didn't know how to use Facebook Live. So he pointed me in that direction. Hello, Cynthia. How are you? It's good to see you guys. I'm drinking Death Wish for sure. Yeah, so this is my first attempt at this on Facebook Live. It's good to see all you guys. Well, see, but yeah. So if you have any questions about Monty and Strong or projects I'm working on, I'll try to answer as many questions as I can without giving stories away. And I don't know how long I'm going to be on for, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see. So we'll take it from there. Again, this is just a test run to see how this works out. Yeah. Well, Davina, I don't know how to use commas, so there you go. I really want to apologize, Davina, for all the comma heartache I've given you over the years at this point, because I've been doing Monty and Strong now for a while, and you've been there since the beginning. So, yes, there's going to be more sepia. There are 2 books that are that have to be done. Sepia Blue, Nameless, I think is the last one. Let me check. Nameless and Demon. So it ended at Nightmare. The second one is Nameless. The fourth one is Nameless, and the fifth one is Demon. So there are 2 more books that have to be written. When they'll be written is going to be a tough one. This year is looking pretty booked, but I'm gonna see if I can fit it into this year. If not, it'll be early next year. But she will be finished. That series will be finished. I'm actually thinking of maybe having Monty and Simon kind of pop in Sepia's world. That should be fun because the level of destruction would be insane. So we'll see if that's possible because it did kind of shift over a bit in one of the books. So yes, this video is sponsored by Death Wish Coffee. So we can get some sponsorships from Death Wish. Yeah. Hey Darren, how are you? Are you jumping your rope? I just ordered a new set. How are things in Idaho, Cynthia? Good? Is it really potato country? I've always wondered. Hello, Kirsten. I saw the pictures of the mulch moving. Nice. Very nice. Well, yeah, Davina, I think it'd be nice to have Monty and Simon drop by and visit Sepia. It's gonna be tough going back after, let's see, I started Monty Strong a while ago. So it was actually in the middle of the Sepia Blue series that I got the idea for Tomb Yards and Butterflies. And I did what I always tell writers never to do, which is I stopped a series in the middle to start another series. And I always said, don't ever do that. And that's the thing that I did. So I'll go back definitely because Sepia is such a great character and the world is such a fun world to write in. So I'll definitely finish it. Oh, let's see. You're getting ready to drive the school bus for the last time. Oh, wow. That should be fun. Be careful out there. Chris was having some crazy weather a few days ago, or I think it was yesterday, the day before, where he was showing hail like the size of quarters. It's pretty scary. We don't get hail like that out here in New York. Yeah. Another series, there are quite a few series. I think I have the same disease that John has, which is we just keep getting these ideas for new series, and then I'll start one and then write it. And supposedly, from what I understand, you're supposed to just write the entire series, and I've never been able to do that. I'll write the first book, then I'll go back and start another book, go back and start another book, and then I'll just finish the series. The only one I've managed to do that with is Monty Strong, which I'll usually write one Monty Strong, then something else, then another Monty Strong, and something else. But other than that, it's been start a book, start a book. I have a lot of first books in a lot of series. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I think that's my phone. It's saying, "Hey, it's 8 o'clock." Yeah. So that's been this. That's been my curse. Hey, Mark, how are you? Hello, Lori, how are you? Hey, Stacy, Robert, welcome, guys. Well, Robert gets to hear my famous New York accent, which I don't have a New York accent, by the way. Just people think I do. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm just here hanging out with you guys. We've been here for 8 minutes. Wow, it goes by quick. I'm thinking of doing this regularly, like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'll see how you guys feel about it. Seeing my face every week, that might be scary. Yes, Kirsten, they are real and they do reproduce like bunnies. And the way I deal with it is that I always write the ideas down, either actually write it down on a notebook or write it on my phone. And that way I can get them out of my head, because if not, they just annoy the heck out of me. And then I can't focus on what I'm writing at the moment because I have this other idea kind of bothering me. Yes, Mark, it was intentionally planned to make sure you were at work while I was doing this. Yes, Mark. The Brew and Chew Adventures is ongoing because Cecilia has to learn how to become an ice mage, and that'll tie into a few of the Monty and Strong stories. But they're gonna have their own adventures. I think Peaches and Frank is a great combination along with Cecilia, and Rags is kind of like the Monty of that group, and Peaches is kind of a cross between Simon and Monty, but Peaches is his own character, and Frank is just Frank. It's hard to pin down Frank. He's kind of the adult of the group, even though he's a dragon / lizard. Yeah. Yes. When I first got this mug, I had to use tongs because there's so much caffeine in it. It's just like it's toxic. So you have to be careful. Let me see what Davina said. Let's see. Yeah, I'll vary the times because I know in the UK and there's some people in Australia, some people in Africa. So I got to kind of figure out what are the times so that everyone can be on and enjoy and participate and, you know, and have fun with us. Well, you could be unfiltered and still be, you know, family friendly. John and I go online all the time. Like we go live and we try to keep it. If you heard our conversations offline, you'd know that we're really keeping it under control online. So yeah. So I don't know what kind of accent it is, Stacey. I don't have a New York accent. Who's angry? I saw an angry face. Are you angry you're not getting Death Wish? So that wouldn't be good. You have to go live every so often, Kirsten. Initially, I wasn't really crazy about it because I didn't like this whole live thing. But it's another way of connecting with all of you, and I think it's pretty great. And I can say a lot more this way than typing it out and having interaction with you guys. We could start asking questions live. So if you have questions that you could ask me right now, I can answer you pretty much immediately, as opposed to having to wait for a post. So as uncomfortable as it may be, it's worth it. Hello, Rihanna. Rihanna reminds me of a Fleetwood Mac song. Yeah, I know, Mark. Frank is a designated adult, and that's always going to be a problem. Davina, there are always errors. I have to always go back and fix stuff. I know. I apologize. I can't help it. These things happen. It's like an ongoing thing. The saying goes that no book is ever done. It's just released. You know, it's never really finished. If I go back to Mage Killer right now, I'm sure I can go back and fix a bunch of things that I think need fixing. And by fixing those, I would create more mistakes. No book is ever done. It's just kind of sent out. I've seen traditionally published books that I look at them and go, wow, that's a blatant error. It happens. But I will make an effort to fix all the errors that are out there. Yeah, me either, Stacy. I wasn't expecting it. I think it's pretty cool. It's different. It's different from the Be Live. I was gonna do Be Live because I'm more familiar with it, but I think Facebook Live is pretty fun too. Yes, Rihanna. I know. I didn't know if it was Rihanna or Rhiannon. So I have to look that up. Now I have to research that. But it's a great song. I really like. I grew up with Fleetwood Mac, so I grew up with Stevie Nicks Vibrato. So yeah, I'll be humming that too. I have an earworm because of that. Oh, so I don't know if it's Ivo or Evo, but I'm gonna say Ivo, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. The Fae. Yeah, I have to really be kind of careful with the Fae. I don't want to antagonize all the Dresden fans that are gonna come after me if I start including more Fae. But there's definitely the possibility of including more Fae in the books. And if you really want a lot of Fae, you can go over to the PPD books. I'm pretty sure Eric has, I think it's even called Fae of Fortune. So there are a lot of Fae. There's a whole series just about the Fae. And I think one of the main characters is a Fae or is involved with the Fae. So there's a whole bunch in there. I'm not really, I like to use old mythology. Fae definitely fall into that. And so, yeah, I'll see if we can include some more Fae. There are so many places that Monty and Simon still haven't been to that, okay, haven't destroyed yet, but haven't been to worlds that they haven't touched. So there's definitely room for the Fae to kind of make an appearance, for sure. Yeah, Davina, it's not really. If you look at any author, when they look at their books, like I'll go back to, on occasion, not often, I'll go back and read one of the older books. There's so many things I look at, I go, oh, I could have changed that, or I could have added this, or I could have fixed that, or I could have made this better. Because the writing, as you keep writing, your writing gets better, and so you learn different ways to say things. And so when you look at your earlier work, you always go, oh, I could fix that, and you have to resist the desire to go back and rewrite your books. So they're never really finished. It's just a matter of letting them go. And then you'll have authors who, because they're perfectionists, never publish because they're always polishing and polishing and polishing. That, you know, months, years go by, and they're still fixing the book to make it perfect. And perfect doesn't exist. So you just got to let it go when you think it's pretty much done. Yeah, well, actually, I have Death Wish is right next door, Mark, so I don't have to go far. They don't need to back up. I have actually a chute that just comes right to my desk, and they just, you know, they just slide the coffee down. Yes, there are Feyhounds. When I was looking up Rags Evo for, you know, for the Brew and Chew, the breed of the dog that Rags is modeled after is the one that guards the gates of. I'm trying to remember. I don't have it handy in my head right now, but it's a breed that guards the gates right before Ragnarok starts, and related to Feyhounds. So, and Jim Butcher uses Foo Dogs, which is another mythology, and Atticus Oberon is an Irish wolfhound. So these hounds are all kind of related in mythology and the different mythos. I like the Celtic mythology because it seems it's one of the richer mythologies, and it goes way back, and it kind of covered such a broad spectrum of characters and stories. So that's why I like jumping in there. Like that's why you'll see the Morrigan appear so often. Norse, yeah. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Darlene. Um, I like Norse mythology because um, they're a little bit, they're more what I would imagine deities to be like. They're violent, they have personalities like humans, so they're closer to what people are like. Greek mythology is fun, which is why I have Hades in there, but the Norse mythology seems richer to me. But there's so many different mythos that exist. You know, I have Indian mythology, so I have, you know, Kali and Shiva. No mythology is off limits. I'm willing to include any mythology in the Monty and Strong books because it's fun, and the research is, you know, wow. Yeah. Yes, it's still live, Stephen. Are you here? Are you testing? Are you going like testing? Is this live? Yeah, the Morrigan is she's one of these triune goddesses that exist in Celtic mythology. So Celtic mythology has a lot of triune goddesses with three faces or three manifestations. And the Morrigan is one of the best of that because she does have, if you read see if I remember which one it was. I don't think it was Homecoming. Maybe it was Homecoming. Well, when Monty has the reckoning with TK, the Morrigan is there in one of her different facets, which is bad. If I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, please correct me. But you know, and that's a scary persona of the Morrigan. That Dex is like, ooh, I don't even want to mess with that. But he's still involved with her. But the bad persona is dangerous. So yeah. Is it hard to make sure I don't tread on other authors' metaphorical toes or literal toes? John and I don't meet up that often. He's in North Carolina, I'm in New York, but we're in Vegas. I always make sure to step on his toes. Morning, Annie. Yes, Stephen. The shirt is on the M&S store. I'll put the link up soon. I tried not to step on metaphorical toes, which is why if you've noticed, I haven't really mentioned the Wizard in Chicago that much, or the Wizard in St. Louis too often, because I don't want other authors to feel like I'm using their characters. Even though I spoke to Jim Butcher and he was really cool with it, he's a really great guy. So let me say hi to everybody. Hello, Alex. Hello, Mary. Hello, Lynn. So I spoke to Jim. He was cool as long as you know. Most authors are okay with it as long as you don't make their characters look bad, or really, make their characters look awful and make them do something that would be contrary to who they are. So, but I try. I've never mentioned the characters by name because that could be kind of like a copyright infringement, and I try to give them their shout outs without really using them in the story. They're not elements in the story, they're just mentions, because it can, some authors can get touchy about that kind of thing. It's their creation, and you want to be respectful of what they're creating. So you can shout them out, but don't use them in your story without permission. And same thing with like Death Wish. I actually contacted Death Wish Coffee and asked them first before I was going to mention Death Wish in the books. And I got to go ahead. I mean, I made sure it was the whole, legal thing and everything. They said, yeah, as long as you don't make our product look bad, go for it. And it's smart on their part because they know that if I talk about Death Wish and I have a lot of readers, and the readers are going to look into Death Wish and buy more coffee. Now I'm just trying to get them to sponsor us. And, they were really awesome. They made the Java Ambrosia coupon, so you get 10% off anything in the store. And they made that specifically for us. Thank you, Glenn. That was all due to Glenn Vest. He contacted them. He spoke to them. And there's another coupon called the Vest Java Ambrosia, which I had to make just for Glenn. And it's also 10% off anything in the store except subscriptions. They're not that crazy because I have subscriptions to Death Wish. And yeah, so you can, if you type that in, they'll give you 10% off everything. Hello, Benna. I hope I'm pronouncing that Benna right, not Bina. Benna. I'm seriously gonna have a character mess up your name in a book, Benna. Don't worry. Howard, how are you? Matthew. Hello, Timothy. Noah, how's it going? So yeah, and so I don't really use other characters. At this point, I've written so many different series that I can refer to the other series. I don't have to refer to other authors. So like you'll see Ronan talk about Gray, or you'll see Gray talk about Monty and Simon, and you'll see Monty and Simon talk about somebody else. So I can refer to my own work now and not worry about stepping on anyone else's toes, which is a good thing. Oh, see, Ayrton, tell Ayrton, I said hello. I know he's 5 years old, he'll know. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. Be careful on the drive out, Cynthia. It's great meeting you. Go get some more coffee, and don't forget to use your 10% coupon off. 10% coupon. Hey Ben, how's it going? Well, when you get to New York, we'll have to get together and get you some coffee for sure. Hello, Tash. So if you didn't know, Ben and Noah are part of the PPD. They're authors in the PPD, so get their books. Noah writes the Bangkok Warlock series, and Ben writes all the Bethany Black New York series. So if you realize all of PPD has different precincts. I didn't get New York because I'm already writing in New York, and Ben likes New York. So I thought it was pretty cool. And I got the Badlands, which is, I can kind of destroy the Badlands and it doesn't impact the other authors. But pick up their books too. If you've read our books, the PPD books are hilarious. They're not like the Monty and Strong books. They're really just me and John being as silly and as insane as possible and putting that in book form, basically. Yeah, I try to do that often, Stephen. It's pretty fun. Hello, Linda. Death Wish tea. That's a good question. I'll have to ask them because why wouldn't they make tea? I'll have to ask if they are planning on a Death Wish tea. They have to have a lot of UK people. It's hard to get Death Wish in the UK because it's made here in the States, and shipping it to the UK is pricey. It costs more than the coffee, and I don't think they have any outlets in the UK yet. So yeah, so Death Wish tea would be interesting. Ben, that's my yes. I have a New York British accent. That's atrocious. Yes, thank you. Tell Ayrton I said thank you for giving you permission to speak to me. Tash, hello from Scotland. There are a bunch of authors headed that way in Edinburgh. I want to say it's Edinburgh, right? Edinburgh? That's not how it's spelled, but that's how it sounds. Edinburgh. So yes, there are a bunch heading that way soon. Let's see. Are you right in thinking that Mage Killer's coming? Yeah, it's Shadow Strut and Mage Killer almost happen parallel to each other. Mage Killer overlaps Shadow Strut. So it's tough writing. I don't really write that way. I try not to write where the stories are overlapping because it's hard on the reader. If they've never read the Night Warden stories, now they're reading the Operative or the Division 13 stories, and they're wondering, what the heck is going on in this story? Who are these people they're talking about? But because Ronan was such an ass in Shadow Strut, I kind of had to tell his side in Mage Killer. And so he's still an ass, but now you know why he's an ass. Because Honor had him do something, because later on, other events will occur that will require Gray and Coda and everyone. It's very much an Infinity Endgame thing where everyone will have to get involved to deal with an antagonist. So Honor's kind of testing the waters to see who's who and who'll do what, and he kind of put Gray to the test. So yeah, so it does happen, Mark, around the same time as the Shadow Strut, and it kind of goes past it a little, but not much. But if you haven't read Mage Kill, I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but the next one is when he deals with Grace's mission for him, where he has to transport a transporter. I feel like Jason Statham should step in at some point. Let's see. Yes, Deathwish should be easier to get there, and I've spoken to them about that, and Deathwish has grown to such a point where they don't care. I'm sorry to say, in terms of distribution, they are so successful at this point that they're not really worried about distribution. People do get their coffee stateside, and they're not really worried about going worldwide yet, I think. But they should be easier to get over there. What's it like to partner with other authors? Easy, pain in the ass? Both. It's easy when it's someone you get along with. So me and John get along really well. If we didn't, I couldn't do the collaboration with him. It's a pain in the ass if from what I understand, we don't have that in the PPD. Everyone gets along really well because we all kind of just have the same mindset. But it's a pain in the ass if you're both trying to, you're vying for creative control of the story. Like with me and John, it's really simple. I'll write a part and he'll embellish it, and then he'll write some stuff and I'll think, oh, that's great, or can we change this? Because again, I'm writing in his world. So going in, I knew that I had to kind of conform to the world that John had created with the PPD. So I'm playing in his sandbox. And so if you know that going in, I'm not going to go in and try and redo the entire Badlands. I'm going to work with the parameters that I'm given. And that's okay. I have no ego about that, because it's a fun world to be in. And he was gracious enough to let me be in that world with him. I think the problems arise when the authors are kind of butting heads and each one wants to try and change the actual background of the characters. But John and I created the characters together, and then I asked him what these characters could do. Like, Hellions have certain abilities, dragons have certain abilities. What do goblins represent, and so forth and so on. So once I kind of had an idea of what each character could and couldn't do, then we just started thinking about what the story was, and then we just ran with it. And so I would create, stuff and run it by him, and he'd be, yeah, that works, or let me fix this, or let me tweak this. But it wasn't like he changed much. It wasn't like I would write something and he would rewrite it. He would add to what I've written, or say, okay, if you do this, it's going to break the world. And so, okay, I can't do that, because things like that. So in terms of John and I, collaboration is really easy. It's just making the time to be able to collaborate, because we're both really kind of busy. But I have heard where it can be difficult with collaborations because both authors are trying to get creative control of what they're doing. In this case, not a pain in the ass for me. Let's see. Stacy and the Destructive Duo will join in. Yeah, they usually do. That's the thing. I have to use Monty. Monty and Strong, like when you read in Mage Killer where getting the 10 involved in something, it better be apocalyptic. Unfortunately, or fortunately, when Monty and Strong enter a story, something's going to get destroyed. And so, yeah. Yeah, Ronan is, and I'm sorry, Davina, he is. But you have to blame Honor, and Honor's pretty awesome. He's not as cool as Monty, but he's really awesome. I don't know if they could team up, because Honor's so much stronger than Monty. And he has a very specific role, which is the central archive. And that's what he's tasked with. So I don't think he'd be able to go on a mission and leave the archive to someone else. He's kind of tied to the archive. And as you know, the archive contains a lot of important artifacts and books and things like that that he would be reluctant to leave, even in Robbie's hands. And so I don't think he'd ever team up with them. I wonder if Honor's afraid of TK. Stacy, everyone's afraid of TK. That's simple. TK is a force of nature. If you read, I'm pretty sure it's Homecoming. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm asking you to correct me about my own book. But correct me if I'm wrong. In Homecoming and the Reckoning, TK used to work for the Babbed persona, which I will elaborate later on in the Clandestine Adventures of the 10, which is a whole different series. That's not out yet. Edinburgh. Yes, the GH is silent. Thank you, Tosh. Tosh. Yes. At least they aren't going to, yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce those two places. Thank you, but no. Yeah, it is really extreme respect. They know what TK is capable of, and they know better than to piss her off. So, but it's very possible, Stacy, that if Honor's being too shady, TK will step in, and she won't step in happily, you know. Oh yeah, we kind of left the last PPD Badlands, not really a cliffhanger. Okay, it's a cliffhanger, but it's a real fun cliffhanger, and I think those stories are just so much fun. And that one's coming around in the summer sometime, Stephen. Like John and I just have to sit down and kind of hammer out the next idea. But it's basically getting the precinct back because it's been taken over, and now the Rouge Riders are involved, so that'll be a lot of fun. Yes, TK is scary enough when she isn't pissed, and if she's upset, LD will probably have to step in to kind of calm her down. It's actually the other way around. I know it seems that TK is the volatile one, but it's actually LD who's the volatile one, but we just haven't shown it yet. Tattoos on my arms. Okay. This one here says Memento Mori, which means remember you will die. If you can see, the red part is a dragonfly. I kind of have a thing for dragonflies. And the 3 circles are body, mind, and spirit, which is a martial arts thing. So you remember you will die, and the dragonfly has a lot of symbolism. This is Korean. I can't reveal that one yet. This is an Enzo circle. If you know Japanese martial arts or Zen Buddhism, you know what an Enzo circle is. And the reason I left it unopened is because you have different versions. There's one that's closed, and there's one that's open. The one that's open is the constant seeking for perfection. But you know you can't have perfection, but this is that constant reaching for it, and that's why it's open. And it looks like a brush stroke because it's usually done with big calligraphy brushes. These are Japanese characters, which mean Zanshin, Fushin, and Mushin. And these are 3 tenets of martial arts. Zanshin is the never-present mind, Mushin is no mind, and Fudoshin is the ever-ready mind. So it's martial arts stuff. So those are these tattoos. They weren't that painful. The one that was painful is I have a Maori one that I cannot show because then I'd have to go topless. No, not that kind of live, okay? And that one was painful. So yes. Oh, let's see. What do we have? Those are the tattoos on my arm, Benna. TK super scary. Yeah. She's much older, Steven, than Monty, and Monty, as skilled as he is, can't even come close to TK in terms of ability and skill. Hello, Craig. Hello, Sweet Coco. Yes, it was an absolute cliffhanger. It was worse, Benna, the ending when we originally had it, and I think John modified it a bit because people were getting a little like, what kind of ending is that? So yeah, it's not summertime yet, but it feels like it, and my body usually runs hot, Steven. So imagine drinking hot Death Wish in the summer is what I do, and my body already runs hot. Like I wear shorts all year round, even in the winter. It doesn't bother me. I'll wear shorts and a t-shirt during the winter. While people are dying, I'll be outside in shorts and a t-shirt. That's how hot my body runs. So you can imagine how much fun summer is for me. Honor and Monty teaming up, not like Simon, more like collaborate, plan together. In a way, that's what he really played Simon. Yeah, I don't know. Monty has an incredible loyalty to Simon, and I don't think he would feel okay doing something that would manipulate Simon that way. He does have a lot of loyalty to Simon, even though he gets completely annoyed by Simon. But I don't think he would work with Honor to, like what happened with Gray, how Honor and Roden work together to manipulate Gray. I don't think Monty will work with Honor to manipulate Simon that way. Plus, don't forget, Simon has peaches, and peaches might bite people. So, hello, Samantha. Hello, Dawn. Let's see. You're welcome, Craig. I enjoyed writing it. The only stories, surprisingly, that are tough for me to write are the Night Warden stories, because Gray is a dark character, and I have to get into a different headspace to write Gray. Unlike the Monty and Strong stories, which are always, even though they deal with really serious themes, they're always kind of lighthearted. Gray is like a dark character who's dying and dealing with a bloodthirsty sword, and the world around Gray is darker than the world around Monty, even though they share the same universe. Gray sees the world differently because he's more in the trenches than Monty and Strong. So if you want to think about it, it's like Gray is the guy on the street dealing with the homeless people who are being kidnapped and things that are happening to the people who no one speaks for. So Gray speaks for the unspoken. Monty and Strong, even though they deal with these world-ending events, they're at a different level. They're kind of a little bit more macro. And then like Division 13 is like MIB, like they deal with worldwide events that impact everything, which is why Ronan is callous, because he's like, you guys are seeing the little picture, I'm seeing something that can wipe out the planet, which is why he acts the way he does. Yeah, I know it's a cliffhanger. It's true, but what can I tell you? This is where we chose to end that book. Bye, Annie. Great seeing you. Great, Jen, thank you for being here. Yeah, Stacy, Honor doesn't really engender much trust, but he does what he has to do. Yeah. The next Peaches novel, yes. Okay, so the next Peaches, they're not novels, because I don't want to write long books of Peaches, because even though he's an amazing character, I don't want to exhaust him that way, that character. It's good that he's kind of has short little adventures. Should be coming soon. The next one is called Brew and Chew, because they formalize the name of their group, and it's not Frank and the Misfits. It's the Brew and Chew, and so the next title is called the Brew and Chew, and the one after that is called the Cold Girl, which is what Peaches calls Cecilia or Cece, and that should be coming out sometime in the summer too, because they're short. I can write them really fast. So yeah, exactly. So Monty, yeah, Craig. Hey, Chris, Dancer, how are you? Ingrid, hello. Yeah, they have warrior spirits, which is why Simon will take bullets for Monty, and Monty will do whatever for Simon, because they've been through so much already together that if Honor approached Monty even to try and manipulate Simon for his own good, Monty would shoot it down. Monty would go, I'll deal with it, And Monty has contacts, and he has Uncle Dex, which is one of my favorite characters. I think besides Peaches, Uncle Dex is such a blast to write. And if he needed that kind of help, he would have Uncle Dex contact the 10. And so he'd deal with it that way. So it wouldn't be through Honor, even though Honor's connected to the 10 as well, too. Yeah. But Honor's a great character. I think Honor, the attraction of Honor is also his mystery. Like, who is he? Why is he so powerful? Where does he come from? What does he do? And I'm not really going to reveal that for a while, because Honor is a great character, and he's placed right where he needs to be. Yeah, he's one of my favorite too. But I think the Uncle Dex is just because he's so irreverent. I like Uncle Dex a lot. Thank you, Stacy. Cecilia, that's what I say. I mean, for me, it sounds Spanish, Cecilia. So yeah. Pollux and Castor were fun. Yeah, they'll be coming back. They're not in the D. They won't be coming back. Well, they were in the D13 with the Operative. Pollux and Castor are part of the mythology, so they might be coming back because they have to go back to Hybrid at some point. And Hybrid, the club, if you remember, it was also in one of the Monty and Strong books. And yeah, Pollux and Castor will come back. More Castor than Pollux, because Pollux is too crazy and he'll try to kill everybody. Castor's the level-headed one. It can't be so. Don't rush the summer, Stephen, please. It's already hot enough. I have to use air conditioning already. It's that hot. Yeah, yeah. Will Cece ever get her own series? Cece basically has her own series. It's the Peaches series. It showcases Cece. She's only going to be there. Well, she'll appear in the Monty and Strong because Monty is teaching her kind of against his will. She's his apprentice in a way, or her student. We know the whole thing about apprentice, and so she's his student learning how to use her powers. So you're gonna have little vignettes of Monty losing his patience, dodging ice with Cece. Yeah. Oh yeah, Steven. So there is one up in the works, and it's the misadventures of Nana and Dex. So because Nana is a great character, and so I'm pairing those two up, and they're gonna have their own spin-off series. And since they're both older and they're both cranky and they're both irascible, and that one's set in London because Nana's in London, and Dex pretty much wanders everywhere. But that one's set in London. I think the first story is when they tried to remove Nana from London, when they tried to when the consortium tried to evict her from London, and how she did not take kindly to that, and her response to that. And so there's going to be a lot of fun stories with those. There'll be a lot of senior moments. So, yes. Well, yeah. I don't know what that means, Davina. Can you explain bollocks and pasta? Oh, Pollux and Castor. Got it. Got it. Yeah, I can see how that would happen for sure. It would be hilarious because it's very. So if you'll notice, most of my character pairings have one character who's insane and one who's kind of grounded and conservative and understanding. But with Nana and Dex, they're both kind of insane, just in different ways. And so Nana will, she'll opt for destroying everything, and Dex will be like, well, let's not destroy everything. Let's destroy 3/4 of everything, and then we'll leave the last quarter so that they've learned the error of their ways. That's kind of like what Dex would say. Yes, more pistol than, yeah, me and John, or John and I, or John and me, we really love pistol and spam. Spam and pistol, spam and canister and pistol Zerlock. For those of you that don't know, are these super, super short stories that John Logsdon and I write. And we each write like a little bit. And we're going to include them after our last meeting that we had a little video. We're going to try to include them in the Badlands PPD as stories to read to pair. So, Zeke will use those as ammunition against pair. Like, do you want me to read spam and pistol or not? And, kind of to control pair. So we'll have a way to include those in the Badlands PPD, but we're going to write a lot more of them. And maybe if we could get like 300, 400, 500 of them, we could put them together in one book and we could read them all. Yeah. I can totally see why that would happen, Davina, for sure. Bollocks and pasta, Pollux and Castor, sure. Yes, and this is why you read Monty and Strong, because your brain works that way, for sure. For sure, yeah. So what's left? Steampunk Western romance. I was thinking about romance, Noah. I don't think I could do steampunk. I like the steampunk genre, and I like the whole how tech in steampunk stories runs in a different way. And I love the look of steampunk. Steampunk, when the illustrations of steampunk look fantastic. But maybe a steampunk Western romance is what you should write, Noah. Why don't we talk about that and get you writing some steampunk Western romance? I think that'd be great, for sure. But I was thinking about romance. We'll see. Nothing's impossible. Where can you read what? The spam and pistol. There's a page for them. We have a Facebook page for them, Stephen. Because you can't find them anywhere else except on the Facebook. So remind me, and I will send you the Facebook page link. But anyone who was there yesterday for the video yesterday could find it because it's around. We've saved them. Yeah. But Noah writes really fast, and he has a lot of time because all he has is a little one, a toddler. So he has plenty of time. He's not sleeping anyway, so he should write steampunk Western romance. He's already writing like PPD, and now he's gonna join in some other writing with John. And yeah, I think there should be a steampunk Western romance PPD story. Noah, go for it. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Benno. Yeah, if you Google Spam Canister and Pistol Zerlock, you'll find it, Stephen. Yeah, see, the the romance in there is the romance that's gonna be. I don't think they will ever have more than what you see because that tension needs to be there. And for me, actual romance, you have to understand that Simon being, even though he's immortal and she being a vampire, that would never work for them to actually get together. People would try to kill them or try to kill him at least. And same thing with the story with Monty and Roxanne. There's a lot of romantic tension there, but Monty wouldn't want to put her in danger by getting together with her. And there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes with Roxanne and Haven, and you'll see it's alluded to that the fact that she's being hunted and why Monty kind of wants her to stay in Haven because Haven's safe. So he wouldn't want to put her in danger, even though he feels things for her. So yeah. So when you'll find out, there's another series of stories, Stephen, about Chi, and there it's just about how she became the leader of the Dark Council. And at the end of that, it's three books, but it's really one book, but each book is gonna be 20,000 words, so it'll be one book broken into 3 parts. There you'll see how they get together, and it'll explain more about the relationship and how she marked them and things like that. More Vine stories, stat. Yeah, well, he's got to get the first one out, Benna. So, let's get him doing that. But in the meantime, he can do like steampunk Western romance. But yeah, I think more Vine stories should definitely be on the table. All right, Mark, that sounds like you're being super productive. That's excellent. Oh yeah, there you go, Noah. Steampunk Western reverse harem. There you go. Boom, your new genre. You right there, you'll dominate. I think you should really, really, really give that a try. Is what out, Stephen? Oh no, that series isn't out yet. That's gonna be scheduled for a while later. That one about Chi and the rise of how she became the leader of the Dark Council. That's gonna take a little while. Right now, the next book, which is Reaping Wind, which is gonna be when Chi goes to Japan with Monty and Strong. Simon is gonna go after her, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna happen with Chi there, and a little bit more of her history is gonna be revealed, and then hopefully they don't destroy most of Japan, because a lot of Japan is still wood, which is not good. Hello, Carla. Welcome. Yeah, she has her motivations, Davina. I know. Yeah. Miami Sanchez. Yeah, that's not right. Okay, Noah, sure. Uh-huh. No, I think that's Ian, Benna. So, yes, Steven, she did. We won't ruin it for you. Just keep reading the stories. Yeah, but she did, unfortunately. It gets explained later on why. Yeah. Morning, Laura. Welcome. A lot of, it's interesting. A lot of it, she is very polarizing. A lot of people like her. A lot of people think she's badass, and a lot of people really can't stand her. It's really interesting because it's either or. There aren't people who can. It just goes both ways. So she has fans, and then she has people who cannot stand her. A lot of it's probably because of the way Simon fawns over her, and then she's kind of cold towards him. So yeah. Hello, Ted. Welcome. Yes. And you won't forgive her. I understand, Davina. I totally get it. I don't think she can do anything redeemable at this point anyway. But I get it. I do. Because what she did. I get it. Maybe you have, Stephen. I don't know if you read them all. I think it would be in the last one where she does what she did. It's not in any of the short stories. There are a lot of short stories. Well, not that many. It's 1, 2, 3, about 4 short stories. But the short stories are tangents, with the exception of No God is Safe, which is the lead-in a way to how Monty and Simon met. The other short stories are just fun, like little asides. Like the date was fun. It was a nice little, Simon going on a date. A Proper Hellhound is trying to get Peach's obedience lessons, which did not work out so well. And let's see, the War Mage is kind of before Monty met Simon, and it tells you a little bit about the story of Master Yacht, whose full name is No Fun Yacht. But if you really want to read that, it's No Fun Yet, because anytime he's training, there's no fun involved. So No Fun Yacht makes a lot of little cameo appearances in all of the books. Yes, Ted, I am drinking Death Wish. What else would I be drinking? What kind of question is that? Of course I'm drinking Death Wish. It's Death Wish. It's not extreme Death Wish. It's just regular Death Wish. And yes, Earl, there's always a reason behind Chi's actions. Always, always. You should read A Proper Hellhound, Stephen. You'll have fun. And then you get to meet Maury. She's a different character. This is true, Stacy. Yeah, but in Chi's case, it's not really an excuse. It's more she had to do certain things because she had to. Hello, Tammy. How are you? Yes. Yeah, I don't think Davina's ever going to forgive Chi. It's never going to happen. Hello, Michelle. Yeah, I like Roxanne too. I'm not going to do the Simon Roxanne. I can almost hit the falsetto, but yeah, I haven't done it in a book yet. I have to reintroduce that because then I just hear Sting all day in the police. So yeah. When I have a deadline, Ben, that's when I drink Extreme Death Wish. So for those of you who don't know what Extreme Death Wish is, I think I explained it in one of the books. Extreme Death Wish is, instead of water in the machine to make coffee, you take Death Wish and use Death Wish to brew more Death Wish. I do not recommend it, really. And if you have a heart condition, I really don't recommend it. It would probably send you to the hospital. But that is what Extreme Death Wish is. So don't do it. Don't do it. Death Wish on its own is strong enough. Yes, Mark. I'm waiting for the IV drip. I'm getting is it a stent put in, so I can just have it just inserted without having to get poked every single time. Yes, Stephen, read it again. Sometimes when we read it fast, we miss some of the parts. But the reason why Davina and some of the other mob can see it because they shred, and so when they shred, they really get into like the nuts and bolts of the story, and so they don't really miss anything. In fact, they help shape the book. So this is a shout out to all the shredders. Thank you so much for being so amazing, because you guys take the book and make it. I'm not kidding when I say you take a good story and make it a great one. You make the story great. Like you come up with things. I'm like, oh, that's such a good idea, and I put it in. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Amanda. So, and yes, Ben. Before if I took Extreme Death Wish before meeting with Logs, and we'd both be bouncing off the walls. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, Death Wish with extra death. Exactly. Yeah, that's what Gray drinks. There's actual research that coffee can help with migraines, and Gray suffers from really, 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 really bad migraines as a result of his condition. And so the coffee that he drinks actually helps him deal with the migraines. The fact that he's bonded with Izanami, the sword, has just arrested what's happened. It hasn't reversed it. It's just stopped it. But he's still dealing with the condition, except that now he's not dying as quickly. It's just stopped. But if he ever unbinds with the sword, I think it would accelerate and probably kill him quick. So he's still dying. It's just that it's not happening as fast. That's all. Go do some. All right, Ben, go do some writing. Yeah, that sounds great. Do some writing for me too. Excellent. Yeah, that's what I heard, Stacy, and I studied it, and I've heard from people that coffee does help with migraines. My sister suffers from migraines sometimes, And I don't know if she can take coffee, but yeah, I think the migraines, somehow the caffeine hits something in the brain, and it hits these receptors which help you deal with the migraines. This is why a lot of people drink the coffee, because it helps them deal with migraines. The flip side to that is if you don't drink coffee and you're a heavy coffee drinker, one of the withdrawals are headaches. So you have to watch that. Just make death wish with a percolator. No, I was just thinking of getting the grounds just ground into powder and just using it like tobacco, Earl. Just take a pinch and just put the death wish right in my face. That might be better. Yeah, Davina, it's a chemical thing. So it helps with the migraines, and the sugar does too. So it's definitely a chemical, there's some chemical interaction there. So that's why Gray drinks death wish the way he does. That's why he actually needs it. Whereas Monty just enjoys, I'm sorry, Simon just enjoys coffee. So, and he has a special flask of Java Ambrosia. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out for a little while longer, and then we're almost at 56 minutes. It's gone by really quick. So, and then I'll call it a day for the live video. Unless you guys have questions, I'll stick around if you have questions. But yes, writing has to get done. Yeah, it's bad. Caffeine withdrawal is really rough. I don't recommend it for anyone, especially when you drink something like Death Wish. It's tough. I haven't had it. I've experienced minor symptoms of it, but yeah. It's my pleasure, Stephen. Ah, see, it tightens the blood vessels and relieves pain. That's why. There you go. Thank you, Sanchez. Oh boy, that's a really broad question, Benna. What else am I into besides karate and writing? Wow, that's. I need some context for that because that can cover everything. I mean, I go to the gym regularly. You guys know I train. I usually get up at 3 in the morning to go to the gym. So it's not because I love getting up at 3 in the morning. It's because my days are usually so packed that 3 in the morning is perfect for getting up in the morning, training, and getting things done for the rest of the day, I can go without. I have done days without it. Yeah, let's see. How did TK and LD meet, and how did he survive long enough to get close to her? That's when I do the clandestine adventures of the 10, I'll explain how they met. The reason he survived long enough to get closer is that because he's extremely powerful. As powerful as she is. It's just that he's very subtle about it. So she respects that power as much as she's also attracted to him as a person. So that's why he has survived long enough. And he's wise. He doesn't piss her off. That makes him very wise. Yeah. Yes, I can go without. I have it daily because I enjoy it, but I have had days when I don't drink it, and I can go without it. You're very welcome, Stacy, and let her know that, Bruin Shoe is going strong. Laura, have a nice visit at the doctor's. I hope it's not for anything serious, and have a great day. Bye, Stacy. Yes, the clandestine adventures of the 10 is going to be a thing. It's going to be an ongoing series, very similar to Division 13. It'll touch upon the other stuff, but it's really their own missions, and they're all kick-ass mages. And so you're gonna have TKLD, Renee, Jono, Chris. Do I need to reveal the other? There's 5. There are others. So the other parts of the 10 that you don't know are Luca from Division 13. She's one of the 10. Silk. If you know who Silk is, you'll know who he is. If you don't know, you'll find out. And there are a few others that I haven't mentioned. Gan. So I have to do a crossover from the Sepia Blue. Are part of the 10. So they kind of run through all the series, who the 10 are. Maybe Honor, who knows? So, yes. Hello, Liz. Yeah, I've done it without because if I'm moving around, Davina, I'm just doing a lot of stuff. I won't do the death wish. I think it's because it's in my system for so long, the caffeine, that I can do a day without it and it doesn't affect me. But I've done 3 days the most. At 3 days, I'll start feeling it, and I'll drink some. But I have one cup that usually lasts me the whole day. That's how strong death wish is. You've really got to kind of pace it throughout the day. Like you can't drink death wish in the morning. I'll drink death wish throughout the day as I'm writing. So it'll get cold and it'll sit there and I'll drink it, and it won't be an issue. I survive. Yeah. Dex is not one of the 10. No, Dex has been invited into the 10, and Dex refuses to be part of the 10 because Dex does not like to be tied down, which is why the Morgan gave him Herc. The clandestine adventure of the 10 would be 30,000 words. There'll be novellas. Not I don't want to do. I only do really Monty and Strong and the Night Warden novels. That's 50Ks, and the other ones are usually either short stories or novellas. Yeah. Yeah. Dex doesn't like being part of a group. Dex doesn't really play well with others because he likes to do things his own way. He'll look out for Monty because that's his nephew, and by default Simon and Peaches. But Dex kind of roams. He doesn't like being part of anything, which is why I don't want to spoil books for you, but he's kind of more involved with the Golden Circle now because of events that have occurred in some of the books. I don't want to spoil it for those of you that haven't gone that way. And he's chafing under that. He doesn't like being part of anything that's organized, which is why him and Nana teaming up is perfect. How long do I spend writing on a day? That depends, Michelle. So I try to block out about 4 hours a day to write, but that sometimes does not happen. And I also write on my phone. Like I'll write ideas on my phone. So like if I'm traveling to the dojo, I'm on the bus, I'm writing an idea on the bus. If I'm in between classes at the dojo, I'll write an idea if I have an idea that hits me. Or I'm waiting for the bus, I'll write ideas down. But I don't really write on my phone. I'll write ideas, or I'll write small paragraph or snippets, and then I'll expand them when I get to the actual book. But I try to allocate 4 hours a day for writing. Does it always translate into 4 hours a day? No. But then when I have a deadline, I shut everything down. Like, okay, yeah, I have to get this done. And so I just write what needs to get done. So my kids won't invade my office, and they'll be like, "Okay, Daddy's writing, let's leave him alone," kind of thing. Or my wife will like corral them and make sure they don't bother me as I'm writing, because I have a deadline. And I growl when I have a deadline, like I'm writing, and they know. So yeah. But overall, I try to schedule 4 hours, and then I do other things in the afternoon. Again, that's the goal. Doesn't always translate into 4 hours. Hello, Mary. Welcome. But I'm enjoying this. This is fun. I think we can do this like every 2 weeks or every week. I'll take a poll in the room. Because every week, I can kind of do this every week, once a week. I think we'd have a lot of fun. Yes. Do I get mad at my characters? Hello, Craig. Yeah, I can forgive my characters because I know the motivations. Do I get mad at them? Sometimes, like, Simon is like, if you watched Infinity, Simon is like Peter Quill, who when they had Thanos and they were about to rip off the gauntlet, he goes and starts smacking Thanos. And Simon does that on a regular basis. He'll go and do something that completely upends everything and makes it worse. But it's not intentional. It's just that that's just his nature, his way of being, and because he's jumped into a world that he doesn't understand. Yeah. But yeah, on occasion I get upset. Like sometimes Monty will do something and it's like, oh, really? But then I have to remember that he's English, and so it's a different sensibility. And with Chi, it's a cultural thing, and who she is and what she is that motivates her. Same thing with Uncle Dex, and they all have their own motivations. Even the Morrigan, who's together with Dex, is with Dex for a reason that hasn't been explained yet. Do I keep track of my characters' profiles and interactions with each other, like a dossier? or is it all? It's a little bit of both. Um, I have story Bibles that I refer to occasionally, but it's really all in my head, which is scary to think about. That's why I tell people you don't want to be in my head because it's a scary place. Yeah, it's a combination of both. Have I thought any more about doing? I don't think the world is ready for me to do an audiobook, Benna. My voice is pretty scary. But there are talks to have other audiobooks done by people who do this for a living and have the right voice for it. Because my voice would be like, ooh. I don't want people ears. I don't want to have their ears bleeding as they listen to my books or causing car accidents because my voice is not really ready for that. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Robert. Welcome. You guys are coming in at the tail end because we're at an hour and 5 minutes. So I know how much longer I'm going to stay on. I mean, I can stay on a little longer. It's only 9 in the morning where I am at. I don't know what time is it where you guys are. I know for some of you this is evening. Yeah, Mike Tyson would be perfect because I want to lisp in all my stories, Noah. Yeah. And then if anyone complains, I can have him go to Mike and he can deal with that too. See? 2 birds, 1 stone. Cecil. Cecil's a great character. Cecil's like the Force. You know how, for those of you that watched the first 3 movies that we don't admit are real movies, when the Force was just explained as the Force, it was awesome. The moment they started explaining the Force as midichlorians and all this other stuff, it kind of lost some of its allure. Cecil's like the Force. The less you know about Cecil, the better. Also because he's an information broker in addition to dealing with the automotive parts of things. You don't want to know too much about Cecil. So it's good to leave him a little bit mysterious. We'll sprinkle Cecil's origin throughout the stories. But I'll let you know that he does have dwarven roots. How's that? Yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, 2 p.m. is not too bad. I'm glad it's not too late for you guys. Izzy has a question. What steps do you use to create your characters? Okay. Hi, Carla. So you can let Izzy know for Monty and Simon Strong and Tristan Montague. They came to me pretty fully formed. I was writing Sepia Blue, and I had this idea to write a kind of like a buddy situation between an English mage and an American detective. And the kind of the meshing of those 2 cultures, the clashing of those 2 cultures. So they came pretty much developed. And from those 2, their world developed and the other characters came in. And so I didn't want to write a traditional vampire story, but I like vampires, so that's where Chi came in. And she's her own kind of way of being as a vampire. It's not very traditional in the sense that she's going around attacking people. So the characters, I kind of let them simmer for a while before I create characters. And one character is a catalyst for another, which is a catalyst for another, and then the whole world develops. Yeah, I always write stories with characters first. I don't do the story first. I usually get the characters first, and then I create stories around those characters. Which is why if you see my stories are almost always character driven. The stories are the things that are happening to them, but it's really the character. Let's see what we got. I was thinking the same. Yeah. I have to drink more coffee always, Craig. Is it dragon approved, Craig? Thank you. Yeah, Steven, it's been 1 hour and 9 minutes according to the timer here. Doesn't feel like it though. It's been going quick. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Trish. Hello, everyone. In case I missed you, hello. Welcome. So yes, get back to Davina's question. Yes, Cecil's going to be a mystery, more or less. Can't reveal too much about Cecil because he is an information broker in addition to other things. Thank you, Craig. I'm glad it's dragon approved because it's kind of important that things are dragon approved. I haven't done one of those recently. I have to run another Easter egg contest so we can get another one of you as a character in the book. The conditions are this: you get put in a book, you get killed in the book, but you get killed in a really great way, and you get to be an awesome character. So if that's what you want to do, I'll run another contest. You got to figure out an Easter egg somewhere, and you get to be in a book as a character, but you're going to die in the book, just so you know. Do the story's characters come alive in your dreams? Do you have ideas that come to you that way? Some of them I've had. So I got 2 Million Butterflies kind of like I was in between dreaming and awake. So I was just about to fall asleep, and I got this whole idea, and I just had to write it down real quick. I've had stories come to me, and this is what I was telling my wife. All my stories have come to me as I was writing another story. I've never sat there and said, okay, come to me story. It's never happened that way. I wish it would be great if I could just have stories hit me like that. But it's usually when I'm in the middle of something that I'll get another story. And so if I'm in the middle of writing a story, another story idea will come. And this is why I have so many story ideas, because I'm always writing and I always say, oh, and what if that would happen? And what if that would happen? And just to give you an idea and kind of a little bit of a teaser, Mark and Gemma were talking about Monty visiting different cities and destroying them. And so my thing was, I had an idea. I was like, what would happen if, like, who cleans up after Monty and Simon? And so we've created a group that cleans up after Monty and Simon, and they will have their own stories. I'm not going to go into much more than that because it would give away. But that's going to be fun. Take care, Craig. Have a dragon-approved day. Yes, it'll be out at some point. My schedule, my book schedule is pretty insane. And then I get to add things like the PPD to it, which make it even more insane. So, yeah. But don't forget, I don't know if I haven't mentioned this. It's like plugs for the PPD. If you haven't picked up a PPD book, you don't know what you're missing. PPD is just a lot of fun. It's crazy. Even if you read Monty and Strong or anything else, you should read the PPD because it's a different. It's just fun. I mean, they have serious things that they're dealing with, but you find yourself laughing. You have to kind of appreciate the humor, but you'll find yourself laughing from kind of like the beginning of the book all the way to the end, because it just has these insane moments. I know for the Badlands PPD, basically we said, how can we be as crazy as possible in a story? And we just put these characters, these really fun characters, in these crazy situations and just ran with it. And so if you haven't picked up a PPD book, you should. There's 5 authors writing together, and we're collaborating on each one, and you should really just jump in. They're all different, but they all have at their heart, they're really good stories. So go get the PPD, and you'll have, there's a lot to read now. I think Noah has 4 books. I know Badlands has 2. New York has 3, and I'm not sure if Eric I think has 2 or 3 at this point too. So there's a lot to read. You jump in and you get like 8-10 books right away. So go for it and have fun with that. Yes, that's what happens when you're just mucking around, for sure. Yes, they are insanity and hilarity concentrated. That's basically what it is. I like what John calls them. John calls them palate cleansers. These are the books that you read in between the serious books. So, you know, you've read a serious book and you're kind of a little, you know, weighted down by the severity of the story. You go and read a PPD book and life is great again. So, yeah, they are palate cleansers. They're a lot of fun to do. They're a lot of fun to write. And really what we should do, I'm going to see if John wants to do this, is that we can record our brainstorming sessions, because it's basically 35, 40 minutes, an hour of just laughter. Like, we'll have ideas and we're just laughing the whole time. And you say, okay, well, we got to get the story down. And then we'll go off on a tangent and we'll, you know, and so it's just, we're just dying the whole time, which I think comes across in when you read the story. You're seeing how much fun we're having with the story. But the brainstorming session itself is insane. We're just sitting there dying the whole, my face hurts after a while because we're laughing so hard. And then I'm trying to take notes, as we're laughing. And I said, whoa, what did we say again? And I have to go back. I'm trying to take notes. It's crazy. But that's how the stories start. And then we go from there. Yeah. Bye, Carla. Tell Izzy I said hello. Awesome. Yeah, Ben, I think we should really see if we can record it. I mean, I have no issue with it. I know John wouldn't either because we're both done these video things. He a lot more than I. This is my first solo. Welcome if you're just coming in. Hello, Sharon. I think I said hello, Sharon. Hello to any who've come in that I've missed. And this is my first solo live. Thanks to Steven and shout out to Steven Bassett for letting me saying try Facebook Live. So here I am trying Facebook Live. All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna sign off in about 10 minutes. So if you have questions, ask, and then I'm gonna, vamoose, because writing does have to go. Oh, so I'm working on a short story. Denise asked, I know she may not be here now. I'm working on a short story. I don't know how much I can say about it. It's gonna be part of an anthology. It's a Monty Strong short story, and it's for the American Library Defense Fund. It's going to be part of a short story of 8 authors, and I can't say too much I think about it because I think it's still kind of under wraps. But that's what I'm currently working on, a Monty Strong short story, and they go in pursuit of the Holy Grail. But it's not a story the way you would think it would be. Yeah. Yes, this is about this cup refills itself. That's how Death Wish works. So that's what I'm currently working on. And yes, it is bottomless. As I put it down, every time I put it down, the longer I wait, the more coffee fills up. It's magic. Hello, Diane. Do I think I have it in me to kill off a main character? Well, Davina, we saw how well that worked with the fake deaths of Peaches. Would it be smart for me to kill off a character? I can't see it happening. Unless I plan on ending the series, then I can see that happening. But I don't see ending the series anytime soon either. So I don't think I can kill a character off in Monty and Strong unless it's one of the ancillary characters, like someone that's not central to Monty and Strong. Then maybe. But Monty and Strong have so much plot armor at this point, it's hard to kill them. Peaches, I don't even want to discuss the name Peaches and character death in the same sentence. That's how much I'm scared of killing Peaches. Put it that way. Peaches can't die. So, hello, Carolyn. Hello, Diane. Just in case I've missed anyone. How much torture is made? Yeah, Sturdy Deviant is in for a lot of torture. We have to string him up, and yeah. Well, he's got more tomes to write, and I got to come up with really creative titles for the books that he writes, Noah. And I have some cameos for Ziller. So since the Living Library moves around now because Ziller has it mobile, it'll be appearing in different places. Like they'll open a door, and it'll be the Living Library, and Ziller will be there. So, or maybe Sturdy. You never know. Hello, Charles. How are you? Congratulations on your superhero books, Charles. They're looking really great. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, that's the humor for PPD. It really is a little bit more. What was the word? Raunchy is the word I was given. Yeah. Davina's gonna have a petition signed for the death of Chi. I don't think I can kill Chi, Davina. As much as some readers would want me to, I don't think it can happen because she's central to the story. So, but maybe we can torture her. She was almost she got close in what was it, Bullets and Blades? I think she got close. She was strung up and waiting for the sun. So yeah, it was dicey there for a moment. Yes, that is CCAKK. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Charles. He writes fantastic superhero stuff. So if you haven't picked up any of CCAKK's books, do so because you're missing out on some great superhero stories. And not many people write in that genre. And not many people write as well as CC. So go get his books. You're welcome. Anytime, CC. I know, Davina. If you want to start the Kill Chief petition, feel free. It's a whole campaign. I get it. I'm not hating for it. You want to try it? Go for it. See how, you never know. It can happen. Does AKK have a meaning, Charles? Yes, Stephen. He has great stories. And we need more people to write superhero stories. I think they're important. They're necessary. We all grew up with superheroes. So superhero stories are, they give people things to aspire to, and they allow us to kind of go outside of ourselves and be greater than who we are. At least embrace those ideas that we can be more than who we are. So yes, Stephen, go chase him. Get his books. I think he has 2 books in his current series of superheroes. So go get them. Cool. Just wanted to know, Charles. You into Vegas this year, CC? I have some ideas to bounce off you when you're there. Let me know. All right, guys, I'm giving it 10 more minutes, and then I'm out because the writing does have to get done, and it's 9:15. Oh, it's 9:15. I keep thinking it's late, but well, it's late for me in a sense, but it's 9:15. But yeah, hello, Samantha. 3 now in the series. You wrote the 3rd one. So guys, yeah, pick up CC series, please. Yeah, it's a great stories, superhero stories, with a different take. When he told me the idea, I said, yeah, this is awesome. Let's go get those. So I'm gonna need a larger mug, and I believe it was Denise who shared the Stein place that they make 24-ounce mugs and 30-ounce mugs. So I'm gonna be having them make Monty and Strong mugs that hold 30 ounces. They're called Steins, so that'll be fun. Yeah. Take care, Stephen. Well, unless you're thinking I'm leaving right now. I'll leave it in about 8 minutes. I'm leaving. Yes, Davina, go. Thank you for being here. And once again, I apologize for my comma aversion. Yeah. Yes, Samantha, I don't know. A bucket takes up too much space on my desk, though, and buckets don't really have handles, so it's a little hard. I mean, they have these kind of, but makes it a little hard to drink like this, The Stein would be better. 30-ounce Monty and Strong Stein will work just fine. This is only 16 ounces. So imagine something about twice the size. That would be awesome. Imagine 30 ounces of Death Wish. Yeah, now we're talking. Now things are getting serious. I know, because I've thought about how to get more Death Wish on my desk, Samantha. So a bucket, you can hold quite a bit in a bucket, but doesn't make you very practical. Yeah. So once again, I want to shout out all the shredders who just worked on Mage Killer, and all of you who worked on all the books. Some of you have done every single book since I started Shredders. And I want to thank you for your volunteering your time and being awesome and pointing out and really just letting me share your brains and making the books amazing and taking time to do that. So once again, thank you all the shredders, and thanks to all the mob. You guys are fantastic. You allow me to do what I do because you support me in my writing, and you make life a lot of fun. And we're a family, and that's important. I've always had to have the mob as a family, and I've always told a lot of I don't believe in fans. I always believe in readers because we're all readers first. I'm a huge reader, and I love reading, and that's why I'll share other authors. And I don't really want fans, readers, because that means something that we have in common. We all love the characters equally. So that's why I'll never say I have fans. I have readers, because it's for me, it's a different. It may seem like semantics to some people, but it's a big difference. A drinking helmet with a flexi straw. That's yeah, but then it's gonna mess with my hair, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, so bucket wouldn't keep my death wish hot. See, Valerie, that's a very valid point. I'd have to get a thermal bucket. Again, I'd have to create one. That's so much work. I have writing to do. So I'll just get a stein and let them do what they do best, which is create large receptacles for drinking. Carolyn, I will give, this was very impromptu, so I will give advance notice. And like Davina said, I'll have to start scheduling it at different hours because the mob is really huge. I have people in the UK, I have people in South Africa. So there are a lot of different time zones. And I have to kind of be sensitive to that, so I can't do it at the same time each time. And also, I'll start taking a poll as to what times work for what and try to find a time that kind of fits everyone. Or just do it at different times so that other people from the mob can be on. Yeah, you can't drink Death Wish faster, Samantha. That's not good for you. Yeah, drinking Death Wish fast is a good way to just really accelerate your brain to dangerous levels. So you don't want to drink it fast. It's a sipping thing. My coffee can last all day. 1 cup. Because it's Death Wish. Wow, 9:18. It's good evening over there. Hello, Jeffrey. You're coming at the end. Death Wish skin patches. There you go. So like nicotine patches, Death Wish skin patches. There you go. And then you can just have a slow release throughout the whole day. That would be fantastic. Welcome, Jeffrey. So I'm guessing Facebook records this because I didn't see a record button. So I'm guessing it records it and it'll leave it on the mob page, on our group page. So hopefully whoever misses it today can see it. So any last questions? We have about 3 minutes and then I'm getting off. So any last questions? I'll answer them and then I'm heading out while I sip my Death Wish. What should we call this show? What do you guys want to call it? Breakfast with Death Wish? I'll take suggestions. Well, that is I do intermittent fasting. So for those of you that don't know, I don't eat anything until noon. So this is my breakfast. So it's breakfast with Death Wish. So yes, so for those of you who wanted to know about the shirt, most of you know about it. Mostly on the mob know about it because the link is there to the store. But I'll put it again. Mob TV, that sounds fun. Or Death at Breakfast. Yeah, that sounds a little somber, Samantha. Death at Breakfast. Can you survive it? Mob TV sounds good too. So I don't know, we'll have to take a poll. A Death Wish breakfast with Orlando. Yeah, I like that one. A Death Wish breakfast sounds good. Bye, Steven. Take care. A Death Wish breakfast sounds good. And posh. I always like sounding posh. That works. It's very Montague of me. All right, we're coming down to the last minute. So if you guys want to say anything, again, I want to thank you all for being here and coming by and swinging by and saying hello and dropping in. And I'll work on how to make this a little bit more regular because it seems like a lot of fun. And we can have questions and some contests and some stuff. This was a very impromptu thing. I'm just testing out this Facebook Live and then also how to get this kind of situated, how to get it done. And I'll try and get it a little bit more structured and organized, but also kind of leave it loose, kind of a format so we can just kind of hang out and talk too. Yeah, sure, Benna. And I'll wear like a tuxedo too. Talk with my new British accent, my New York British accent. That is an atrocious accent, by the way. I apologize to every British person for using that accent. because it hurts people's ears, that British accent. I don't even think it can be considered British. It's I don't know what that thing. Well, I don't know what it is. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. It's about 5 seconds to an hour and a half we've been doing this. I've had a great time. Thank you for coming and visiting. Thank you for being here. I'll schedule the next one so you guys have a bit more of advance notice of when I'm gonna be on. And then we'll get together, get your questions ready, and then we'll ask questions. I'll answer any question you ask, as long as it doesn't give away the story. And we'll spend some more time together. Don't forget, meat is life. Take care.